you very much for inviting us to speak with you today. My name is Lydia, this is Faye, and that's Mark, and we're here to tell you a bit about our wonderful social enterprise, SockMob Events. Just to give you a bit of background, SockMob Events has evolved from the work of the SockMob, which is an informal volunteer network that regularly engages with London's homeless, where we go out and give them socks to break the ice and kick off conversation. It's a simple idea, and it started about 8 years ago as a small group of friends simply wishing to go out and meet the homeless of London and learn from them. And since then it's grown to a network of over 600 people from diverse walks of life who now come together effectively as a social group. And we do all kinds of activities with our street friends alongside the walk, such as boat trips, picnics and bowling. And the idea is to keep on offering companionship to people who could be quite lonely and isolated. And it's from these activities and conversations with our street friends that this idea of having walking tours led by the homeless evolved into what's now become SockMob Events. So this is a unique social enterprise that works with homeless people across London to coach them to be walking tour guides. And we came up with the idea because our street friends are such creative and resilient people with fascinating stories to tell, but they often can't access paid opportunities to harness these qualities. And we also wanted to create something a bit different that really cut through the negative stereotypes of homelessness and revolutionise perceptions of street people.
So how did we do it? Well, in August last year we partnered with the London Fringe Festival and coached 4 guides in 2 areas, London Bridge and Old Street, and ran a 3-week pilot of what we called Unseen Tours. From the start, all the tours were co-constructed with the guides, empowering them to shape the narrative and how the tours would work. So, for example, those of us acting as coaches created scripts of the tour routes with the guides themselves. The unique selling point was that the tours would incorporate the history of the local area as well as the guides' own personal stories of street life, so something that you wouldn't find anywhere else. And people loved them. So to help us continue, we've garnered amazing support from about 30 volunteers who take it in turns to come on the tours and work with the guides. We call them tour buddies. And that means that the enterprise has hugely grown in scope. A central value of SockMob Events is that the guides take the lion's share of tour revenue, which really helps them to make a living and improve their situations. In addition, being a social enterprise, all the profits are reinvested to help train more guides and further develop SockMob Events. Since our hugely successful August pilot, we have seen the tours have a really positive effect on everyone involved. So, for example, the guides have really built up their soft skills and all have said that they have increased confidence engaging with the public and looking for other opportunities. The enterprise has really generated a real sense of belonging for everyone involved, not only through working together on the tours, but also through regular drop-in and social evenings for us to get together and discuss how the tours and SockMob Events is getting on. Also, consistent positive feedback from all of our tour customers, which include corporates, schools, campaigning groups, have said that the tours have really inspired them to think positively of homeless people and have mobilised them to contribute to positive social change. And we've seen this by people joining the SockMob and by offering to volunteer their time for SockMob Events. And of course we've created some highly entertaining, unique walking tours which make it a great day out.
So our vision for the future is first and foremost to widen the scope of our tours and offer these opportunities to many more homeless individuals across London, and also build them up and empower them to take over their own unseen tours themselves. We're also planning to replicate the model, as we've already had interest from several groups across the UK and overseas in cities including Prague, Toronto and Melbourne. And we want to be fully sustainable in 2012. And for this reason, we recognise the need to diversify our income streams. So we are also planning to create new ethical corporate events, which will be facilitated by us and a coach team of paid homeless coordinators, again using positive interaction at team building and away days to really educate and break down those existing negative stereotypes of the homeless. And we also plan to inject a new social research stream into the enterprise using mine and Faye's existing skills, which is research and project management. As everyone involved in SockMob Events, except the tour guides, currently gives their time on a voluntary basis, so for example Faye and I have given up full-time work to devote more time to it, we would really value your support in funding a full-time post to really drive the enterprise forward and help us develop these other income streams.
Now I'd like to pass you over to Mark, who is one of the tour guides and would like to say a few words.
Yeah, I'm Mark. I'm one of the tour guides at Temple, and I've been involved in it since October. But Faye was actually the first person that I met through when she was doing one of our SockMob, giving out socks. I'll never forget that day because I thought they were full CIDs. And it was a very cold night and wet night, and she gave me a pair of socks and a hot drink, and I said yes, thank you. And then she started talking to me unseen tours. And first thing I said to her, I said, is it for the homeless? And she said yes. And I haven't looked back since. And through that, just before Christmas, I was in a hostel, got myself in a hostel. I felt very awkward because I don't take drugs or drink, and there was a lot of that. And I was finding it very difficult. But because I've got a very good support net with Lydia, Faye and the rest of SockMob, they said, oh no, stay there and you will get something better. Now I've got my own studio flat.
Brilliant. We'd like to thank you very much for inviting us here tonight, and thanks to the Funding Network, and we hope to welcome you on one of our tours soon.